Hello, friends. It is Saturday, the 25th, 2025, and joining us today are three people with the Friends of Lopez Island Pool, or FLIP. This is Bill LaDrew, past president of the board of directors of FLIP, Anne-Marie MacPherson, executive director, and Mike North, the current board president. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us today.
You bet. Couldn't wait to hear about it from my friend Jane Fuller. So, spoiler alert, one of you is married to Jane Fuller. Is that right?
Guilty.
Raise your hand if you're married to Jane Fuller.
Guilty.
So we love Jane. So Jane told me all about this, and I had to do this interview. It is a major success story in the making. In fact, it sounds like it's a major success story that's almost completed. Quick background, and then I'll let you guys explain it all. 25 years ago, someone had the idea that a public pool in Lopez Island would be a good idea. It was kicked around for a while and kind of died off. And then in I think you told me 2008, the idea was revived, got a little more legs, but still fizzled a little bit. And then I guess just a few years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, it was brought up, and this time it was decided that you're going to get this done. So this is going to be a two pool complex. There'll be a lap pool and a wellness pool. You guys can explain what that means. You have raised $8.7 million on the beautiful little island of Lopez. That is an awful lot of money, and the vast majority of that is private money, donations. I know, Anne-Marie, you want to brag about that in a minute?
I would love to.
But what a success, and yet we're not quite there, even though you've broken ground, and you had a fun little event, which we're going to put some video up in a little bit, a few days ago, because the pool is already under construction, but there is still a shortage of up to $2 million that's needed to bring this thing across the finish line. And there's some hope, and we'll talk about toward the end of this, the public can help secure $786,000 potentially from the state, hopefully. And that's a decision, by the way, that'll be made by the legislature in less than 3 months. So we'll talk about that, the way the state can help and all that. Anyway, I've talked too much. Let's turn it over to you guys. I can tell you're proud. I can tell you're excited. Who wants to start?
Want to talk about the fundraising?
What would you like to start with?
Well, let's talk about what the complex is going to look like, what it's going to be like.
Great. So our complex is a swim center, a community swim center. Let me just say, this is truly a community project. It is 2 pools, is a lap pool and a wellness pool. Really important to have 2 pools, 2 temperatures. It allows for everybody to actually have something kind of for everybody in it. You're able to do lap swimming at the same time. You might have aquatherapy happening in the warmer water wellness pool, or swim lessons happening at the same time you have a active fitness class right in the lap pool. So it's a really important piece of the component of the pool. We will be integrating a number of partnerships was formed years ago that really will be part of making this a success. One of the key pieces is the partnership with the swim center. So part of that is that PE classes will be integrated. Swim lessons and aquatic activities will be integrated into the PE curricula. So kids will be walking over on the school to pool trail and jumping into the pool and make sure that they can swim. Right now, 8% of the kids on Lopez, when tested a number of years ago, could pass the basic Red Cross swim test. So we're surrounded by water. And yet only 8% of the elementary school kids could pass. And this is why this PE, integrating swim lessons into the PE, the partnership with the school district is so important. We want every child to graduate knowing how to swim.
We've incorporated an interesting feature in the pool, in that during the winter months, it's going to be a covered pool with an air-supported structure. So it will completely enclose the pool, temperature will be controlled, etc. So we can use it all year round, which is particularly important for the school. Then in the summer months, the dome comes down, and it's quite a straightforward process to take the dome down. We store it, and then we have an open air pool for the summer, which is very popular. People like this idea. So that enables us to have a year-round pool, which makes it financially viable. So this is a main feature of the pool.
And adding on to that is, as we've learned, keeping the programs fresh is really important. So sometimes you think of, a single pool with a slide. We're far more, today pools are much more than that. So we will have kind of a variety of things happening and being exchanged out. So perhaps we might have log rolling in the pools, an aquatic climbing wall where you fall down into the pool. We will have aqua yoga. There's many things that you can do in the pools today that really keep it fun. So it's much more than swimming. This is about really having fun in the pool for the kids, and I would say adults, college, all ages are happy to do these fun things. But that's what really keeps the pools fresh and alive, much more than, again, just the lap swimming that we think of in traditional days.
Right. And for a school, an island, you mentioned the size of the island. There are, I guess, we're all the way up to 3,000 year-round residents. But in the summer, it's a different story. We probably have triple that in the summer because of all the summer residents and all the tourists that come on board. So what's really perfect is during the summer, it'll fulfill the needs of kids wanting to play in a nice warm pool. So what are your kids going to do when they come to the island? Well, the pool's a great place to go. And then when they all leave and the dome comes up, we have a school right next door, and all those kids that are vulnerable to the highest rate cause of death with kids, and that's drowning, they're all going to learn how to swim. And there'll be plenty of time and plenty of room, and it's right next door to the kids. So we feel it's really going to meet the recreational needs of all our visitors in the summer and the real lifelong skill set needs for kids.
So that's interesting. It's easy to think of this initially as a recreational thing, but there's a major public safety component to this, right?
It's huge,
Absolutely.
huge.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
in fact,
that's really interesting.
sorry, in San Juan County, we are one of 2 counties in the state of Washington without a public or school pool. And because of that, this project is really fulfilling that public safety element, which was truly critical when we're surrounded by water.
Yep.
It's also
So will
something
this
that,
be, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is something that really changes and impacts generations. Because knowing how to swim is a generational issue. If your parents don't know how to swim, you have 19% chance of learning, that you would be on that same learning how to swim. So it's really important. We're changing generations of people.
Beautiful. Now, will this be a membership based? Will anyone on the island buy a membership to have access? How's that going to work?
Yeah, that's really a good question. It is a membership-based organization, so people can take a membership. We have a variety of whether an annual membership or summer membership. We also have drop-in fees and program fees. So the business model that we have developed is very clear. That is, it is self-sustaining. We have no provision for any tax revenue. We're not part of the taxing district. So it is, while it's a public pool in the sense that anybody can use it, but we do offer memberships. Are
you already selling memberships?
We are moving in that direction.
We will be selling them soon.
Yeah.
If I can add on to Bill, so it's as a nonprofit entity, we're taking the best of both worlds of a public pool and a private pool. So a public pool, again, as Bill said, we will be open and available to all. Drop-in passes, weekly passes. So absolutely, we also will have a financial assistance program, which is really critical. But let me go back to, before I talk about that, the best of private and public. So public, from that way, we want to make sure everybody can go. and that there's a financial path. Private world is typically clubs or membership based, but we're able to do both. And that's where the financial assistance program also comes in. We're going to be offering discounts between 50 and 90% for Lopez residents who are in financial need. And we want to make sure that cost is not a barrier right, so that's a key component.
So in terms of drop-ins, can a resident of a hotel or a visitor in a hotel drop in?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can a resident of another island, can a San Juan Islander who's going to be over for a day bring all their swimming gear and buy a day pass?
We certainly hope so. They'd be more than welcome. Yeah. It's an important part of our financial strategy, in fact, is the drop-ins, particularly in the summer. So it will be an attraction, not only to residents, but to visitors and our friends and neighbors on the other islands. So we're pretty excited about that.
Is it your hope that people think of this as the county pool?
Yeah,
Essentially.
it's a community pool, and we like to think the county is a community.
We even hope to have a Lopez Island swim team, perhaps the Lopez Flippers, which I think would tie in with our long-term name.
That's great. Tell us about the community support on Lopez, particularly in terms of the donations. How big are the donations? How many donations?
Yeah, so we have over 1,300 donors. Really, this began, I will say, in typical capital campaigns that you would see. Most capital campaigns raise money first from the larger donors and then go out to the community. But this dream began with 5 women, actually, who started this so many years ago. And it just kept being embraced by the community. And it was truly a grassroots effort. So the community of donors, of so many donors, have stepped up to raise from the public side, so from the private side is over $6.5 million alone, with about the average donation at the time, a while ago, was about $250. But this is the time now for us to turn, now that we have shown that we have our operating budgets to be self-sustaining. We know that the community wants this and needs this, and that we are fully under construction with a plan to open about the end of this year, early January, but we hope by the end of this year. This is the time actually where we need to turn to then the larger donors to help us close the campaign. One of the additional efforts is the state's role in this campaign. So the state has, thanks to Senator Lovett or Representative Rommel, and others have really stepped up to help bring this forward. We have 1.7 to date that has already been awarded and reimbursed to our organization. There is a really exciting effort, if I can speak to that now, that the Governor Inslee had put into his capital budget 2 different allocations, a youth recreational facility award and a direct appropriation totaling $786,000. This is an effort that we are now hoping to ask our community to help write letters to our legislators to support this. It would make a tremendous difference in closing the gap and closing up this campaign that people have been raising money for and supporting for so long. Do you want to add anything?
No, it's 1,300 donors, and the majority of them are from the island. An island of this size is pretty impressive. We also have people have offered to help in different ways. For instance, for the lessons, etc., for the school, we have a donor that's putting up a scholarship that will cover over a 10-year period to cover the cost of the pool providing programs, swim lessons for students. So that's the kind of alternative funding we've got. We have in-kind contributions, etc. It truly is a community-led initiative. Flip has become a part of the fabric almost of Lopez.
It's true.
It's a great story because, a lot of people start a lot of nonprofits with a lot of ideas and aspirations. It sounds good and you just don't know. So many good ideas kind of die on the table. This one obviously just struck a chord with thousands of people, and here you are, nearly done. So we want to really focus on the $786,000, which could potentially, it's penciled in, but it's penciled in by a former governor. And so we need to make sure that the new governor understands, comes up to speed on this. Got two big friends there, in Rammel and Lovelet, so that's a good start. But now it's time for the public to get involved. We will put the contact information for all three of our legislators, both state reps and the state senator, on this page. So if you're watching this on SanJuans.Today or on YouTube, look for a place where you can, an address where you can email any of our, or all three actually, of our representative, our two senators and our two representatives and our senators. So this is a tremendous success, and I can tell it's unifying the community. That's another thing about these big wins like this, is that they really, really bring the community together, not out of tragedy or angst or trouble, but out of success. So I'm really happy for you. Kind of reminds me of a group that wanted to start a kind of a nonprofit bakery in East Sound, and I think they raised $436,000 for a bakery.
Wow.
And the bread just tastes better coming from a bakery built by the community. So it's Lopez's time in the sun, and this is a total success, but it's not done yet. And it would be hard to replace $786,000 on the spreadsheet if it doesn't come from the state. So this is our chance. It's been on the proposed budget now, and it's the kind of thing, folks, if you don't know this, you probably do, but legislators can be persuaded by as few as 50 letters or 50 phone calls can make an enormous difference to show these legislators that this is a priority. So this is this is the opportunity. Again, we'll put the contact information up. This is Friends of the Lopez Island Pool Flip, and you're inspiring. I really appreciate your sharing this with us. Let us help you try to get over the finish line, and then everybody will bring their bathing suits and we'll buy a day pass and celebrate this. I assume there'll be a gigantic grand opening.
Oh, yes.
It will be.
Yes.
Yep.
Jeff, you've seen the video of the students from the school. You look at the joy on their faces, and the excitement. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit before we go. Let's talk about what happened Wednesday. Tell us about that event.
So somebody came up with the idea of a splash mob. Let's bring all these kids over to the pool and get them in the pool. So we contacted the school superintendent, Brady Smith, and one of our board members is actually a teacher at the school. And within a matter of 2 or 3 days, we had the green light to go ahead with this. It was spectacular. So on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, well over 100 kids walked from the school along Center Road, monitors all over the place, come to the pool site, and they all walk into the pool, which is not quite finished. And we've got these amazing pictures of these kids standing in the pool, and they say, well, we want to swim in it. We don't want to stand in the pool. We want to swim in it. It was amazing. It was joyful to be a part of and joyful to watch. And I think when people see that, they will really appreciate how important this is to the community, and especially to these school kids. At least 125 of them. Yeah.
Maybe the only time that the kids will be standing at the bottom of the deep end of the pool.
Let's hope.
Well, I can imagine it was bringing to life this idea that cultural change is about to begin, to see those kids just present at that site. I'm sure it was very moving for all the people who've worked so hard behind the scenes. So anyway, Flip. Everybody's flipping for Flip. I imagine you'll be hiring a lot of lifeguards.
We will be hiring a lot of lifeguards, and actually we've been starting that effort already. As people might know of in the news of the last couple of years, it's been harder to get the lifeguards. We actually started that effort in the last year. We have a short list of names already. And then importantly, what's fabulous about this community is that you often think of teens. So teens are definitely one group, and we also have a list of teens, but we will be building that, and you can be junior lifeguards. So we're kind of building that path. But what's unique in this community is we have a large number of people who are retired or who are able to also volunteer. So we have people who have already signed up and have been getting their certification, and they want to help. Volunteers in this community are huge. This is a big community of volunteers, and it's really what makes this community sing. I just want to say one last thing, really. When you think about what difference does a swim center make in a community like this, when you talk about how rural and remote we are, this really becomes part of the fabric of the community. This is one place, and really the only place on the island where you are able to combine young kids, babies, to seniors, families, and individuals all together under one roof. It's really an opportunity to bring the community together. And it's something that, as one donor said to me many years ago, I think one of my first days, said, this is one of those projects we'll look back upon in 30 or 40 or 50 years, and perhaps only then really realize the impact that this project will have on the community. And so we just really want to thank our donors and the people, not just donors financially, but our supporters. This could not have happened without them. And truly, it's of the community, and we're so happy to bring it back to the community and bring it alive. I'm excited to have everybody join us on that first day to jump in, and every day after.
Well said, Executive Director. You guys chose wisely, made a good choice. So this is obviously a very well-run organization, very well-run effort, very well received by the community. Let's put it over the finish line. I feel like it's a telethon now. Call, write, text, whatever way you have of contacting our two representatives and our senator. Let them know how important that $786,000 is. It's really the only thing I think that Lopez is asking for in the legislature this year. I'm not sure. There's another equally important ask coming out of Orcas, Opal, for the Pea Patch Community Campus. That's another really important project. If you feel like looking into that, we've been reporting on that. So these are just a couple super important projects that the state can help us with. We're not asking really for that much. So we'll put that on those contacts on this page and on our YouTube post. Thank you folks very much for taking some time out on your Saturday, and congratulations on a tremendous project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
All right. And thank you folks. We will see you soon.
Good.
Thank you.
Bill.
This day has been a long time coming.
How long, Bill?
You have to ask probably Linda, but too long.
15 years.
So thanks for coming, and a special thanks for all of you people that have supported this community effort over so many years. We are in a position to do something we have been waiting for years, and that's to actually break ground. This is a Lopesian project, and it truly is now with our local contractors, and that strikes at the heart.
I want to thank all of you, especially Bill, for the years that you have put in. This is a community thing that we did, and it has been a long time, so just thank you. I start crying now.
Okay. My name's Amanda Hayes, and on behalf of every family with children on this island, thank you for getting this going. We are so excited to start, so hooray!
As your council person, I stand solidly behind the project, and I just couldn't be more proud of every one of you, both part-timers, full-timers, and everybody who's just participated in making this happen, and couldn't be more thrilled that Sage Solutions is the contractor and just keeping so many subs at work, and our economy will benefit, and that means a huge deal.
Today is a day that I think everybody's been reaching toward, and we almost can't believe it.
Watch out, Olympics 2050.
They're going to have a Lopesian on that team.
And today, not for me so much, but more for Linda and Robin and Mickey and so many others. I feel kind of emotional. And to seeing the dream really come true for them and for the kids on this island, it's a great injustice that's going to be served and taken care of soon. We've accomplished here what no one else has been able to do, and it's been the whole community that's got it done.
Of course, I'm very, very happy, and I have a sense of relief and a very warm sense of this going forward. And now it feels like it's really part of the community.
I'm just really seeing this pool being a community gathering place. So, just as a place to bring people together of different sections of the community, but and saying to my friend, let's just go to the pool, go to exercise class, and hang out.
It's a special experience to be a part of bringing a dream to life for my community, because it's very much my community.
When I heard that the construction was happening, I said, I am ready to dive in, and I hope to see this pool soon. And also, I am most importantly looking forward to supporting our school kids to learn to swim.
And I just want to make sure that all the investors and donors, all the money is put to good use and taken care of, and as a fiduciary, make sure we're doing the right thing for the pool, and it's working out great.
Hang in there, you're going to be swimming soon.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Thanks, Lopez. Thanks for your support.